friends, today we will discuss how to get rid of social media addiction. Earlier, whenever we used to hear the term addiction, we often related it to addiction to alcohol, addiction to smoking, or even addiction to drugs. But these days, people are also getting addicted to social media. Yes, and the situation is so bad that children are continuously with their cell phones. They do not care whether it is time to play, time to study, time to go to school. If there is a guest at home, they just don't care about anything, and they are always busy with their cell phones. In fact, I myself receive a lot of messages, a lot of emails from parents as well as children that how do they come out of this addiction. And that is why I have created this video. So in this video, we will discuss some very interesting and important points that will help you to come out of social media addiction. So let's get started. The question is, why do people get addicted to social media? Now, there are many reasons behind it. Like, one reason could be that there are a lot of people like us who are very much interested in knowing what's happening in others' lives. So out of that curiosity, they come to social media. Besides that, there are a lot of people who tend to flaunt their lives on social media, and that is why they are there. Besides that, social media also acts as a platform where you get access to a lot of content like funny messages, funny videos, which are very addictive. So once you start watching them, you continue to watch them for a very long period of time, thereby wasting a lot of time. Social media addiction has many serious implications. We often think that it is just a waste of time, but there is a lot more to it. Yes. When you sit with your mobile phone and stare at it continuously inside a dark room, do you know how badly it affects your eyes? Yes, it is so bad that it can even make one lose his or her eyesight. Yes, that's possible. Besides that, it can also disturb your mental health. Now, normally when we come to social media, we normally see pictures and videos uploaded by our friends or friends' friends. And let's take this example. Let's say that your friend recently uploaded a picture of his recent trip to a beautiful place during the holidays. Now, when you see that picture, you think that, oh wow, you see he is enjoying so much and I am sitting at home and getting bored during the holidays. And this can cause depression. Now, when you feel depressed, your anxiety level increases, your stress level increases, and that is how your mental health gets disturbed. With social media addiction, your physical health also gets compromised. You know how? Because when you sit with your mobile phone all the time, you're basically not moving here and there. There is no physical activity. There is no playing around, roaming around, and as a result, you are becoming more immobile. So your physical fitness is getting compromised again. Last but not the least, somewhere or the other, your bonding, your family bonding is also getting compromised. Like earlier it used to happen that dinner time used to be the time when the entire family would sit together, chit chat and spend some quality time with each other. But these days it is often seen that the entire family is on the dining table, but each one of them is busy with their mobile phones, which is such a bad thing. Yes, and that is why we say that social media addiction has many harmful effects, and it is high time that all of us try to come out of it. Since we have been only talking about the harmful effects of social media addiction, a lot of you might be thinking that social media must be a very bad thing. But actually it is not. Social media is a very good thing actually. So if you look at social media in this way, that it is a platform which gives you access to so many useful resources from where you can learn a lot of things. It gives you access to network with your old friends, with a lot of good people, and that's how, have networking with so many people. So social media definitely has its positive side, but it is up to you that how you use social media. If you use it judiciously, then obviously it is going to help you. But the moment you start using it excessively, thereby wasting a lot of time and getting addicted to it, then the harmful effects would follow. So our agenda today is to understand how can we use social media for good and how do we come out of addiction of social media. Today we will talk about 4 L's that will help you to get rid of social media addiction. Our first L is limited social media sites. So if you see today we have huge number of social media sites. You have Facebook, you have WhatsApp, you have Snapchat and so many others. And most of the children have an account in all of these sites. Now what happens is when you have multiple accounts, so you end up spending more time going to each of these sites separately, even though you are networking with the same group of people. So when you are networking with the same group of people, then what's the use of having multiple accounts on multiple sites? Instead of that, what you can do is just keep one account active and deactivate all the rest so that you can save a lot of time. Our second L, limited friends and followings. It is a trend these days that everybody wants to have more friends in their social media sites. And as a result of that, you tend to send friend requests to strangers and also accept friend requests from strangers. Now tell me one thing, do you think that these friends on your social media sites will be there at your place when you actually need them? Obviously not. For example, I might have some 1000 friends on my Facebook, but if today I have an emergency, do you think that all those 1000 people will be there to help me? Obviously not. So maybe 2 or 3 people would be there who are my true friends, and for those 2 or 3 people, it doesn't matter whether they are there on my friend list or not, right? Because the moment you have too many friends in your friend list, you actually get more notifications, so you actually end up spending more time on social media sites. So it is very important that you do not send friend requests to unknown people, neither do you accept friend requests from unknown people. In a similar way, we also like pages, right? Now, it's important that you only like pages that are relevant to you. Do not like random pages. For all those who use WhatsApp, we often get into groups, and there are some groups where you tend to get a lot of forward messages. Now reading those forward messages might waste a lot of time, and if you think that those forward messages are not relevant to you, a good thing that you can do is you can put that group to mute so that you do not get disturbed with the notifications. And if you think that that group is totally irrelevant to you, then please feel free to exit from the group. Our third L, limited devices. These days, everybody has access to a huge number of devices. So you have a laptop, you have a cell phone, you have a desktop. So, each of these devices definitely has the social media sites. So the first thing that you are supposed to do is delete the apps of the social media sites from your cell phone. Now, why am I saying so? Now let's think of this scenario. Let's say that it's time for you to study and you have to solve a question, maybe a maths problem. So you read the question and suddenly there is a notification popping up from your mobile phone. So you got some new notification from your social media site. So you suddenly get distracted towards your cell phone. So you spend some 3 to 4 minutes, sometimes even more on your cell phone. And then again, when you come back to your maths problem, you would have actually forgotten what the question was. So now you go back and you again read the question, understand the question, maybe you start solving it, you are just done with your first step, and immediately there is a pop-up again. So there is one more notification. So you again go back to your cell phone, you again spend a couple of minutes, and again when you come back, you might have forgotten the problem again. So what's happening basically is you are getting distracted from what you are doing. So in this way, social media addiction can always hamper your concentration. So it is very important that you turn off your notifications, you delete the apps from your cell phones so that you just have access to these social media sites on limited devices. Our fourth and most important L, limited time. It is very important that you set a strict timeline during which you will access social media sites. Now, you can dedicate any time as per your wish. So if you want, you can dedicate 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 20 minutes every day to check your social media sites. Now, that doesn't mean that you dedicate 4 to 5 hours on social media sites. So once you set the time, the more important part is to religiously follow that time. Now, if you are someone who is already addicted to social media, you might find it very difficult initially. So for that, what you can do is you can set a timer. Maybe you can set a timer of 10 minutes. Now, once time is up, make sure that you log out of the social media sites. So that's how you gradually get used to accessing social media sites for a very limited period of time. Not only that, it is also important that you access social media sites at appropriate times. A lot of people have this habit that the moment they wake up in the morning, the first thing that they do is go to the social media sites and check their notifications, which is definitely a wrong thing. You should always prioritize your work and only use your free time to check your social media sites. For example, when you are traveling somewhere or you are standing in a queue, it's your lunch break, or you want to take a 5-10 minutes break between your study hours. So these are the times which you should use to access social media sites, because many a times it happens that you start checking your social media sites and you end up wasting a lot of time, and thereby you hamper your day-to-day activities. So it is very important that you only access social media sites for a very specific period of time and also during your free time. I'm sure that these 4 L's that we discussed just now will definitely help you to come out of social media addiction. But besides that, it is also very important that you carry a positive outlook towards social media sites. Now, many times it happens that we tend to get depressed reading the posts or seeing the pictures by our friends or friends' friends. For example, your friend might have posted a picture saying that, my dad gifted me a wonderful bike today. Now, looking at the picture or reading his post, you might feel that, oh wow, he's so lucky, I do not have a bike. And that's how you tend to feel bad, you tend to feel depressed, you tend to get stressed out. Now, the point that needs to be noted here is, there might be a lot of good things happening in your lives. Maybe you are not posting that on a social media site, but there are good things in your life as well. So when you visit a social media site, never compare yourself with others. Never get depressed because somebody else has posted something nice or something very fancy. So always carry a positive outlook. Do not get stressed out. Do not get depressed when you read posts on your social media sites. And I hope that in this entire video we talked about a lot of things. We talked about the 4 L's, we talked about the positive outlook, and I am sure that each one of you who are addicted to social media will definitely implement all of these and come out of social media addiction. So it is not just about liking this video or commenting on this video, it is also about implementing these things in your day-to-day life and bringing a positive change in your life and using social media for a positive, for good for yourself. And then definitely let us know in the comment section that how did this video help you to come out of social media addiction.